what it comes from, how to prevent it.
I will be done with half of the book. I need a study buddy like my life depends on it.
It was just research.
We're powering through because we have to.
I'm either super on it or I'm just absolutely failing.
Kidney function, electrolytes, and dehydration. For the past 2 years, I have been studying to become a registered dietitian, and now there's only one thing left in my way, the registered dietitian exam. My name is Victoria, and I just graduated from the University of Alabama, now about 2 months ago, which is a little freaky and a little crazy. And I'm about to take y'all on basically a time travel trip around to when I just graduated and started studying for the RD exam. I feel like there's so much different information about what you should study for the exam and how it goes for different people, and so I am here to share my experience, show you what materials I'm using, how it's going, and basically we're going to go through and show all the different stages that I've been through in studying for these past 2 months. Also, to kind of quantify how much I've been studying and how long it's taken me to do different parts, I have kept a very meticulous record of everything that I've studied so far. And if y'all want to see back in time to when I did the first chunk of my studying, this first chunk of the book, that was over the course of this past semester, and I had a whole video on how I did that while I was in school. But now we are after school and we are fully honing in, fully focusing in. And throughout this video, I'm going to show y'all updates of how much I was able to do every day and kind of how that manifested into hours and pages studying. And like I said, I finished my bachelor's in nutrition, I did my master's in nutrition, and I finished my coordinated program with 1,000 supervised practice hours in dietetics. And so I am really ready to get my credentials and become an actual registered dietitian. But first, I just have to pass this exam. So let's flash back in time to right after I graduated when I started to realize that it might be time to actually start studying. I'm home, I'm back in Birmingham, and I am 1 week post-grad, and I'm sorry to say that I have really realized that I need to start studying for the RD exam again today, like right now. I was doing the math yesterday of all the sections that I have left and the time frame of which I want to take my exam, which it's May 10th right now. I want to take the RD exam as early as I can, which is probably going to be early June. And that might not happen because I really need to hit the books. Like, I did not study at all last week. So I have my all access book, I have my iPad, and I'm about to sit at a table and start studying. It really doesn't feel real that this time has come. This last week has been just like a really good taste of freedom, and I kind of feel like it's coming to an end. But if I want to become a registered dietitian, I have to take and pass this exam. If I want a job, I have to take and pass this exam. So it's time to lock in. It's time to lock in. That's so sad to say that it's summertime, but it is time to lock in. So I'm going to go sit at the table, and I think that my strategy this time, guys, because if y'all don't know, I did study during the school year a little bit, but I really only got like the first big management section done. And I was doing like an hour a day only. Now I calculated, and All Access has like a 12-week plan on their schedule. I don't have 12 weeks. Their 12-week plan says 3 hours of studying per day, which means if I want to even do it in 6 weeks, then I have to do at least 6 hours of studying per day, which really is just a little bit jarring, but it's okay. We're going to make it happen. But my goal is, I think I'm going to like set a timer, because I do good with timers, because then I'm not like, wait, what time is it? Am I done yet? Am I done yet? I'm going to set a timer for 50 minutes and then plan to have like 10-minute little walking around breaks. And I haven't decided yet if I want to split it up like 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, or like 2 and 2 hours. I don't know what's going to be the most digestible for me, because the other thing is I want to be really mindful, right? Because I have to be getting this information in my head. This cannot be passive learning. This has to be active learning. So if I am mentally out of it, if I'm just going through the motions, that can't happen. So I really have to be in tune with myself. I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So we're starting today. I'm going to go sit at my dining room table, and there probably will be a lot of days to come when I'm going to have to find a local coffee shop, local library, something like that. But today we're starting at home. We are about to crack the book open and get started, and I'm going to keep y'all updated on how it goes. I'm going to keep y'all updated on which sections were particularly hard for me, if there's anything that helped me super much. And the good thing is because I started during the school year, I already got this entire little management section done. So that's like this much of the book, which thank goodness, because that was really just not an enjoyable thing to do, which I think that's how much I got done. Management concepts was a long section. Okay, no, we did get all the way through this whole section of the book. So of the book, this is already done for us. So that does make me feel better. That really was arduous. It took me a long time, and I do not regret doing it in pieces over the last few months because now I have the notes to look back on and it doesn't feel as daunting now in the summertime. So I think now what we are supposed to be starting on is food service, I think is what we're on. So I'm gonna go sit down at the table. We're gonna start food service. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on how this month of studying goes. And I guess let's freaking get to it.
I'm already foreseeing an obstacle in my path.
This guy loves to eat paper and tear it apart.
Yeah, okay, so he is claiming this table, which means that I need to go find somewhere else. And if y'all are wondering, I am using Notability, which is the app that I used in school to take notes. So I have my little section for RD exam, and so I already did the management section, and this is my notes from that. So I think I'm about to go through and review these really quick as part of my first 50 minutes before I go back to food safety, because as you can see, I just started one section of the food safety. He's found me at this table too.
Okay, I just finished 2 hours of studying this morning. Y'all are going to laugh at me. I got 13 pages done in the last 2 hours, but that's kind of I'm starting again, and I'm definitely feeling that it's I don't know, I'm going very slowly. I'm trudging. I'm hoping that will get better as time goes on and I'll get quicker again. But I got through all of HACCP, which is the hazard analysis critical control points, which we had to do in our food service class this year. So I was glad to just get that over with already. So I'm still just in the thick of this section, and I need to move my little sticky note, but I'm going back to the table of contents. Oh, here, food service. Well, that's logistics. Well, where am I? Okay, I found where I am in this section, but the food safety section has been a little bit hard because it's not clearly put into categories like the management section was. So I feel some of my, the way that I have my notes spread out, I feel it's going to be a little bit a lot more of them, because the next section is on receiving, storage, and cooking, but that's only 4 pages. But then it's weird to put that with bioterrorism and food recalls. I don't know. So just gonna have to figure that out, but it looks like the end of food safety is on page 426. And right now I am on page 371. So we have a bit to go. I don't know how much further I'll get today, because also my plans today are unknown. And I feel that's also why I went a little bit slower this morning, is because I kept getting distracted thinking about the things that I wanted to be doing today. And I'm shaking. I'm I need to just go ahead and start on whatever else I want to do today. But I want to try to be getting 6 hours a day. So I think these 2 hours have to be done now because I'm feeling a little bit antsy. Maybe I'll come back to it this afternoon. We're at a rough, shaky start, but it's okay. We are beginners right now, and it's okay. So this morning of day 1, done.
It's day 2 of studying.
I'm outside and I'm in my backyard because I have realized that this is really the only thing that's going to be keeping me sane, is having breaks. I so deeply do not want to study. I have no motivation. I really just am not enjoying it. And so I really have had to be taking breaks, and setting my timer for 50 minutes hasn't exactly been working, because sometimes I can work a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit less. And honestly, yesterday I only did 2 hours total, and today it's not looking great for us, to be honest. And with that little amount of time that I've been studying, I've still needed these breaks to just go out barefoot and walk around on the grass, because this is just another form of torture. Being done with school, being graduated, there's a plane flying overhead, but this is just another form of torture. So going outside is really my only saving grace right now. It's day 3 of me studying, and this is horrendous. I am in the foodborne pathogen section, and it is disgusting. It's literally disgusting, and this is one of those things where this book and this material, this study material, goes into depth about a lot of different things, and I mean in depth. And it's all stuff that you have to know. But in my head, a big mental barrier in this whole studying thing is that every section, pretty much, I'm like, when will I actually need to use this information? When will I need to use this? Like, for example, the time temperature section, of course, time temperature control. I'm so glad that I know, all the temperatures that every single type of food needs to be cooked to be safe. But why do I need to know every single bacteria, parasite, virus, and toxin that can happen from not doing time temperature control, and like everything about that? Like, I literally have to know. So let me show you guys.
So for literally all of these sections, I have to know every single one. I have to know what it comes from, how to prevent it, what the symptoms are, what's the onset, how long it lasts, literally everything. And I'm trying my best to make some sort of like elements to remember.
But I am at the parasite section right now, and it's almost lunchtime, and reading about these worms is like just the worst part of my day right now. So I'm trying to get through this section as fast as possible, but definitely a big barrier is just having to know such detail when I know that I might only get one question on the test about one of these things. But I guess that's the thing. It's so much information that like you have to know everything about everything to be able to answer that one question about each section on the test. So I'm just getting over myself, but that's where I'm at right now on day 3. Now, after just 3 days of studying, we took kind of an impromptu beach trip because we knew that we weren't going to be able to fit it in at the end of the summer or at any other part of the summer. And it was very short. It was just like 2 or 3 days, but it was such a good kind of like reset, relaxation, which is so funny because I had only been studying for 3 days. But as y'all can see, over those 3 days, I got in about 9 hours of studying. And when I got back, I jumped straight back into it by finishing out the videos for that section. And then I had finished food safety.
Bacteria is going to prefer an awe of 0.85 to 1.0, loves abundant moisture, and neutral to slightly acidic environments. Or the danger zone, this can be a tricky one for students, and you might have heard something different. 35 here. The 40 to 140, it's a nice general rule, I'd say, for like general consumers, but technically 135 is going to be that danger zone kind of threshold.
And if you guys haven't been able to tell, my cats have literally been such a huge like support system in me studying because they are always around me, especially when like my mom is at work and my brother is off at like summer camps. Literally, my cats are here to support me, and oh my gosh, I appreciate them so much for that. It makes watching videos in bed so much easier when they're just there chilling, and it relaxes me. It helps me focus because I have something to like focus on, just like petting them, and literally love them so much. Like, they are incredible. Okay, now let's jump into week 2 of me studying. This is when it kind of started to hit me that I really needed to have a routine and a schedule. So you guys will kind of see a little bit of what that looks like on how I track that on my iPad. And it's pretty similar to if you guys saw how I kind of planned my days out when I was in college. It's similar to that, where I basically block out my hours. I know what I have to do when, and kind of show that out. So this is me showing you that.
Good morning. It's 6:02 and it's week 2 of studying, and it's 6 a.m. and right now I'm gonna punish myself by studying because usually I'd be going on a run right now, but yesterday I only did 1 hour studying with all the errands I had to do. So now we're doing it, starting right now, and we're gonna try to go all day.
I did get a lot of stuff done yesterday, but here's this yellow is the only hour studying that I did, and it was really only 45 minutes. And so I just moved this block, which was the rest of what I was supposed to do yesterday, and we are going to add it into Tuesday. So Tuesday so far I only had 3 hours scheduled, so today we're going to try to make it 6 in total, and I'm not doing my speed workout until after I finish some of these.
Okay guys, great news. It is about 4 or 5 hours later, but I have only done about 3 hours of studying today, and I just finished the research methods section, which means that overall, because I did 1 hour yesterday, that section for research methods took me a total of 4 hours only. So it was super short, quick, easy, and reviewed those concepts, went over all of them. The only breaks that I've taken today, so I woke up at 6 and I studied for an hour. Then I ate breakfast from 7 to 8. Then from 8 to 10, I studied. And then, so that's 2 hours there. And then for 1 hour, I just like took a break, stretched, took a shower, and then I just studied for another hour. So I've been awake for 6 hours today. 3 of them have been studying. 3 of them have been doing other things. So I think what I'm about to do is I'm getting hungry, so I think I might make an early lunch. It's about 11:10 right now, so I guess that's not that early of a lunch. And then I have some plans this afternoon, so my goal is the next thing on the study, I can't jump into calculations yet. I have to do the video. It's a 73 minute video for the research methods. So I was going to say I have some things to do this afternoon, but I think that I will have 1 or 2 hours to study before I have to go do those things. So I could probably get that video done and maybe start calculations, but we'll just keep it realistic for now and say that I'm just going to try to do the video for research, and then that will actually be done with the section. And today has been a lot better. It's been more peaceful. I've really figured out studying in my bed. I've also really figured out like taking advantage of times that like my family is out of the house so that it can be like quiet and I can actually like study at the table. My cats are outside. They haven't been bothering me. And so that's been really like locking in. So it's 11 right now. Whew, we've got some more studying ahead of us. And I'm a little bit nervous too because I was just texting with one of my friends and she was saying that our verification statements were probably going to come this week based off of what our coordinated program director had told us a couple weeks ago, which is kind of nerve-wracking because when I get that verification statement, that literally means that I'm now eligible to take the RD exam and I can actually choose a date. And that is like kind of really, really freaking me out, especially because I'm going to maybe get that this week. And then this weekend I'm going out of town for a wedding. And I don't know, there's just a lot of things to think about. But right now it's just one foot in front of the other, and that foot is eating lunch and then watching that research video. Those are the 2 footsteps that we're taking ahead of us. The rest of it we don't need to think about right now. So I'm going to do that because I'm hungry and I need to eat. And I'll see y'all later. Also, actually, before I walk away, let me show you guys this because this is also very exciting. So I have my book here. I'm holding it in kind of a weird way. It's literally so massive. But so this section is what I have finished at the front of the book. This is all of the management stuff that I did for a month and the research concepts that I just finished, okay? Now here's the best part about it. This section that I'm holding, so on this side of me, this is what I've already done. This section is the calculation section that we have to do next. So that's next on the agenda, okay? Once I finish this calculation section and that's all done, I already, because of the study plan and because of the way All Access did it, I already have finished up until this little cat bookmark right here. I've already finished all of this. So once I finish this calculation section, which is pretty short compared to this food service section, I will have done, oh God, that doesn't look like half. Okay, no, that is kind of half. So then I will be done with half of the book and I'll only have 1/2 left. So that is going to be my motivation for getting done with this calculation section, because if y'all don't know, I am horrendous at math. I am so bad at math. If I really, really study and I really, really try and I really, really like get into a groove, I can be good at math. I did AP Calculus my senior year of high school and I did get a 4 on that exam, maybe one of my biggest accomplishments ever. But like in my classes in college doing math, literally one time, one of my teachers, I'm somebody who talks in class. I'm somebody who raises my hand, especially if nobody else is talking, because I'm like, listen, let's just get this on and move on. And so there was one class one year where I kept raising my hand to answer the math questions that the teacher was writing on the board. And he kept being like, nope, that's incorrect. Anybody else want to try? Eventually I raised my hand one time and I was like, and he was like, you can put your hand down. We don't need to hear from you anymore. And I was like, okay. Gonna go you know, never talk again in my life. But it's okay. Never let people get you down like that, because it's always good to try and it's always good to raise your hand and speak up. So this is going to be me trying to get redemption for my calculations. And then after I finish calculations, we only have half of the book left. Ah! Okay. Going to eat lunch now. Woo! And actually, I'm going to multitask by watching my video while I make my lunch. And if y'all are wondering why I have worn this sweatshirt like every day that y'all have seen me, it's because I came back to Birmingham from Tuscaloosa and basically just brought like a backpack full of clothes. And mostly I brought t-shirts and shorts and one sweatshirt. And this was the one sweatshirt. So that's why I've been wearing it every day. It's been on repeat in the wash. So when I go back to Tuscaloosa in the next couple days, I'm definitely gonna bring some more back. Okay guys, I'm back in Tuscaloosa and right now I'm at a coffee place that's on the Strip. This is Strange Brew and I am so happy to be back in Tuscaloosa. And really the reason I'm here for the next 2 days is 1, to see my friends, and 2, because I need a study buddy like my life depends on it. Like if I do not have somebody to study with in person right now, I'm going to lose my mind. Yesterday when I started that calculation section, I literally got 2 pages in and was like, I can't do this. So I'm here, I'm with my friend Bailey. She's inside getting a coffee right now, but we have our stuff set up and it literally looks so gorgeous outside. We're like on the Strip. She's getting something inside. I'm about to get a snack, but this I think is going to be majorly helpful because studying for myself by myself for the past 2 weeks has been like making me a little crazy, even though I've had people to text about it. All I know is that the edible portion is what's left over after you take off the unedible portion. I'm also concerned because this section doesn't have a video with it.
It was just food service calculations.
Because the one that they have linked for doing after this is like the vitamins and minerals or something. Maybe they have that at a different spot.
I think so, because I haven't done vitamins and minerals.
Okay, I just got done, and guys, I am so thankful that I had Bailey there today to hold me accountable, and I think we were kind of on the same mental wavelength. Like, we both were not feeling great physically, we both were not in the zone mentally, but we both knew that we had to get some hours in today, so I think that was about 3 hours. It felt like 20. It felt like an entire day. It went by, like, sitting outside that coffee shop, or inside of it, we ended up moving. But those calculation sections, this is the hardest part about studying. It's like you want to study for the exam as fast as possible and get done studying as fast as possible. The problem is that you're not always going to be in the best headspace for studying. And what I mean by that is like, when I'm going over this material, I need to make sure that I'm in a headspace where I'm actually going to be retaining the information that I'm learning and reading. And honestly, the stuff I went over today, I'm probably going to have to look over before I go to bed tonight or before I start studying again tomorrow, just to make sure that I actually got those concepts, because that was just so hard for me to push through mentally. And it's just a struggle. Like, a lot of these days have felt like a struggle, especially because like I was texting with my other friends, and I was like, doing this after graduating feels like I ran a marathon, and before handing me like the medal, they were like, 1 more mile. And now it's like the mile is the shortest thing I've done. Like, obviously compares nothing to the 2 degrees that I've gotten, but it feels like just so much. It feels so long, but we're powering through because we have to, and it's okay. And there are other days that I'm gonna have and other days that I have had that are gonna be really awesome, and I'm gonna feel really empowered and like, oh yeah, I know that. And the thing is right now I'm in like I've only done like management, food service, and calculations. Those are my 3 weakest things. Once I get to like nutrition and the life cycle, and once I get to like the clinical part, I really think it will start going by faster. But that was today. Tomorrow we have some more studying on tap together, which I think will be helpful. But that's my update right now on how I've been feeling, and really just wasn't in the mood today. But now I get to go get dinner, which is so amazing. So as you guys can see, having a study buddy really helped me so much. And honestly, I have been going back to Tuscaloosa a few times over this summer to see my friends and also just to make sure that I have somebody to study with. And that has helped tremendously because it's so hard when you're by yourself and you're in your head and you're just kind of like, everybody around you knows that you're supposed to be studying so much, but they don't really understand how difficult it can be to just have to lock in for that much amount of time. So that was really helpful. But as you can see, we only did about 3 hours that day, and then I took a few days off the days after that because again, I just for some reason was not feeling it. And if you can tell so far the trend, I only studied for about like 2 to 4 hours every day up until this point. But foreshadowing, as you just saw, I was about to get ready to do a full locked in day where I got up to 6 hours. Okay guys, it is the next week and oh my gosh, I am like fired up and ready to study. That's not how I was feeling yesterday. Today is Tuesday, May the 26th, I think. And literally yesterday, Monday, right? Actually, let's go back to Sunday. So this whole weekend, I was away for a wedding a few states over. And I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to get back Sunday and I'm going to get to it. I'm going to be studying 8 hours a day. We're going to get this thing going. Then comes Monday when that is actually supposed to start. And guess what? I could not bring myself to do it. I got so sad. I got apathetic. I was looking at these notes and being like, there's nothing that I would rather do less than this right now. Just had a horrible mood about it, was so sad, and I just like needed to take a break. So I only did a couple hours yesterday. And then yesterday, y'all know, if you know me, one of my favorite things to do and one of the things that helps me kind of like rationalize, like make me feel better about things is planning. I love to plan. I'm a very big planner. So I was like, let's just see if I studied, so-and-so hours, how many days would it take me to get through this entire book and all of the videos on past class? So I did that. And I found out that today is Tuesday. If starting today, I studied 8 hours a day, then I could be done with the entire book and all the videos by next Wednesday. So that's about 1 week's time. I could be completely done. So I've already done really good today and kind of knocked out everything that I was supposed to do except for 2 videos, which is like the easiest part about it. But I'm fired up now. And also, I got an email from my coordinated program director. And so a couple weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago or a little over 2 weeks, she had said that she was going to send our verification statements in 1 to 2 weeks. So she emailed us today and she said that tomorrow she's sending us our verification statements in the mail. And apparently she's also sending them to the CDR, which I think is like the credentialing on dietetic registration. I think that's what that stands for. And so she's sending that to us and to them. And then they are going to basically look at our application and then decide whether or not we are fit to take the registered dietitian exam. So that is very interesting. I didn't know that. I kind of thought that when we got our things in the mail, we would also just be ready to take the exam, but apparently not. And so that could take up to 10 days from now. So if y'all are thinking about your timeline and like how soon you'll be able to take the exam after you graduate, I graduated on May 1st and it is now May 26th. And it might be 10 more days. So it really is going to be like the start of June, which is what I was thinking all originally, but it really is going to be the start of June is going to be the earliest that I am even like approved to take the exam. And I cannot see the dates that the exam is being held until I get that like verification and until I can like make that account and sign in on the credentialing website. That is when I'm going to be able to see what dates are even available. And I don't know how many dates are in a month available. I don't know anything like that, but y'all will see that eventually whenever I get there. But the moral of the story is that I have the bigger picture ahead of me. And I think knowing when that finish line date is for me is really helping me to be like, okay, I can now see like why it's worth it for me to study 8 hours a day, because that's a lot. That's like full-time job, but it's okay. We're doing it. Today is going good so far, and it's probably going to be a little bit of a struggle. The other thing that is kind of making me want to get it done is that next week, so it's going to be raining all this week and the beginning of next week, but by Wednesday or Thursday, the sun is coming out. And so by then I can be done with studying. And my plan is that by then I'm going to basically take my mock exam, and I'm probably going to buy Pocket Prep, which I don't have yet. I'll give y'all all the details on that. But for now, I just wanted to let y'all know what my new plan was. And it's that I'm going to stop dilly-dallying. I'm going to really boots on the ground, start this thing. And we're gonna get it done because we have to. And I'm starting to see the things slip away. The fact that May is almost done and the fact that it's almost been an entire month since I graduated is like mildly terrifying. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna go like walk around and like try to do some chores or something so that I don't fall asleep when I watch these videos, because that's also been happening recently as I turn the video on and it's like it just lulls me to sleep and I just basically keep waking up confused and where did the time go. So that's not happening today. We're gonna go do something active and then we're gonna watch the videos. But yes, I will see y'all either later today when I'm watching those, or I'll update you throughout this week on how my first week of like literally full-time studying is going. Also, the most exciting thing about today is, like I showed y'all in one of my last clips, I was trying to get through that section so I could make it to the other half of the book. And you guys, we just finished the food service logistics, which means that we are officially about to start food science, which means that we are officially more than halfway done with the book. So this is the half that we finished. This is the half that we're about to do. So that is also a huge motivator and really exciting. Then now I'm literally just finishing like what's left. Okay guys, it's the next day. It is Wednesday now and I am in my bed. I have been trying to work at the table because I feel like that helps me focus, but I just went to the gym and went on a run and my legs are really tired. And so this was more motivating for me, was to just be in bed. So I have my book out, and the most exciting part is that I've sticky noted the beginning of the food science section and the end. So we are going to get through this entire section today. And that's kind of like, it doesn't look like a lot, but that's kind of a big chunk. And that only leaves us with this much left. So we're trying to get food science done today. And then we have 2 videos to watch at the end of the day. And it's about 10 a.m., which means I'm getting a little bit of a late start again, but it's okay. Let's get into it. And spoiler alert, we did not finish food science that day. I was having a tough time. I'm taking an outside break because genuinely today has got me down. It was a horrible mistake starting by studying in my bed this morning because I like immediately gave up. I studied for like 30 minutes and like could not bring myself to do more. And I'm kind of worried that I might have to put like working out on a back burner, because that is what kind of makes me want to just like lay in bed in the morning. It's like after I finish my workout, and I do my best work in the morning, so I might have to like forego that for a bit to just wake up and study, because then I didn't study all morning after that. And then I was gonna go study at like Panera, and that didn't end up happening. And then so far I've done like, I guess, an hour and a half more. So I've done like 2 hours total today. It feels like nothing and so much at the same time. Like I feel like it literally feels like sitting at the table and doing this, it feels like I'm getting teeth pulled. Like I hate studying for this exam more than maybe anything I've ever done. Like it is so atrocious, and like all the little details, like I just am having such a hard time with it, and I just am not going to get to my goal today, and that's because I literally just can't bring myself to do it. And I think that's just going to have to be okay, because like sometimes happiness does have to come first. And I keep having these little things in my head where I'm like, Victoria, you deserve to be happy, so just don't study today. And I really shouldn't be doing that because I need to get it done. But at the same time, like, who gives a rip? Who cares? If I take it a week later, who cares? Like, if it gives me like some being okay for the rest of today, then maybe that's what I need. And I don't know, my only solution left for today is like maybe I'll make some brownies, and those take like 45 minutes to cook. So then, the whole time they're cooking, maybe I'll make myself study. But also that sounds so unappealing. I just want to go watch my show. I just don't want to be doing this. So that's the update for today. And I feel like every day of this is an emotional roller coaster. I'm either super on it or I'm just absolutely flailing. And today I feel like I'm flailing. Yesterday I was super on it. I don't know what tomorrow will be like, but I really am thinking that I'm just gonna have to not run, because even though sometimes it makes me more energized, it just takes time out of the morning. I'm like a morning person, and I think it would just be better for me to like wake up and just start studying. So that might be what we do tomorrow. If anything else happens today of interest, I'll let you know. But this is just tough. It's just tough. I'm graduated and I just want to be done, and it's just tough.
All right, 40 minutes on the clock.
And then these next few clips are kind of an arrangement from May 28th until June 5th. And I was just kind of trying to lock in, trying to do as much as I could. And I was proud of studying every day, even though I did only get through digestion and absorption and I only studied for 1 to 2 hours per day over those few days. But honestly, it was just kind of what I needed to take my time. And again, just proud of myself for studying at all because that was getting so incredibly difficult for me. And some of my biggest tips during this time, which really helped me, was one, getting out of my house and going to study in another location. And I'm not even a big fan of working in coffee shops, but I know a lot of people are. So if you can do that, that's amazing. I am more of I need to have a reason to go somewhere. So I love Panera. And so for a few days in a row, I was okay, I'm just going to tell myself I'm going to go get lunch at Panera. But if I do that, then I'm going to study while I'm there a little bit, or at least watch a video while I'm eating. And so I ended up doing that a little bit, and that made things easier.
Using this mock study guide type thing, I've now finished all of week 1, all of week 2. So I just did the clinical nutrition basics video, and so now I'm officially on to week 3, and then this is where the book ends. So this section is the whole rest of the book. This is extra stuff online. So this is very exciting because this is all we have left to tackle. And then I still am not really sure what the deal is with all of these weeks of practice questions, but we'll figure it out.
And also, I was getting really fatigued of doing the practice questions and the self-assessment questions in particular, because at the end of every chapter in the past class book, basically they have self-assessment questions, which are open-ended questions. And sometimes, or a lot of the times, they don't even provide the answer for you, because the whole point is for you to go back in the book and look for yourself, to reintroduce yourself to the information. And then the other things are the multiple choice practice questions. And I was getting to a point where I was just skipping the self-assessment questions because the thought of doing them was taking so much energy and making me so averse to studying at all, that I was I'm just going to go a different route about this. And instead of writing it out, since that was really what was blocking me, I decided instead to just start talking out my answers and kind of rationalizing them out loud. So here's an example of me doing that.
A gastric bypass patient comes in and, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the answer to this question is that, so the patient has had a gastric bypass, which means that there's not as much of her stomach to create intrinsic factor, because intrinsic factor is created in the stomach from chief cells from gastric acid. So if she is not making intrinsic factor, then any B12 she eats can't be absorbed. So she's taking B12 supplements, and she could take all the B12 supplements in the world, but it could not raise her absorption levels because she needs that intrinsic factor that her stomach can no longer make because of the gastric bypass to absorb the B12. And so, because she's skipping her IM shots, she's going to be B12 deficient, which means she's going to have pernicious anemia. So she has to take the shots because it has to go straight into the bloodstream. It can't be taken orally. So I don't even know why this lady is on B12 supplements, but she needs to be off them, because the answer to this question is that.
And honestly, thinking about having to review this stuff later is a little scary, because everything that I just heard myself say, don't remember in that much detail, but it's okay. We're going to get it back. Okay, guys, it has been a minute. Let me give y'all an update on where we are studying wise, because the clip that y'all just saw of me was me saying that I was basically planning to study for 8 hours a day and try to get through the book in the next week or so. That absolutely has not happened. It is probably a week later. It's definitely a week later. Today is actually the day that I told y'all I was going to be finished with the whole book. And that did not happen. I have to say, I think that setting that goal for myself was the worst mistake that could have happened. And this is not at all saying that nobody else should do that, because I absolutely think that it can totally be a really good solution and getting through the book super quickly. Just for me personally, something happened in my brain where I felt like I completely shut down, and I just really did not want to do any of the work. I really just was it was so daunting that the thought of opening my book became such a mental roadblock. And like for the past few days, it's like I just sit there for like maybe 30 minutes thinking about like I need to study. And then I get so freaked out and I'll like call somebody and they'll like hype me up and be like, you can do this, you know, just start looking at it, just start reading, just start writing. And it's like just too much for me. So basically the past couple of days, I've been trying to like take a different approach because it's just like this, it's been this paralyzing feeling where like if I'm not studying, then I feel like I'm paralyzed, like I can't do anything unless I am studying. So then even when I'm not studying, I'm not doing anything else productive, if you know what I mean. Like it's literally just a standstill. So the past couple days I've been thinking, and I'm like, okay, Victoria, what can we do to get out of this funk? Because like this has to happen. And I also don't know if I told y'all, but I did get my like email that said how to register for the exam. So I'll go through and show you guys that. And then also like my cat wants in, hold on, it's really hot outside. I also got my verification statement in the mail from my professor, which I have not opened yet, so I'll open that with you guys and show that to y'all. And then what was the other thing? I haven't officially signed up for a date yet because I'm gonna show y'all that whole like process. But basically, I just started feeling really panicked and I was like, what can I do to get out of this? And what I've decided is that I just need to take all the pressure off, because I really think that if I take the pressure off, I will do a lot more than I would if I was having this big expectation on myself. Because if I'm thinking like I have to be studying 8 hours a day, even if I'm thinking I have to be studying 6 or 4 hours a day, that is just putting this, it's just too much. It's just too much for me. And what I really need is just to let myself study how I will. I also had a really good phone call with one of my friends, and she was talking about how like she's not going by amount of pages per day or amount of hours per day. So she's just basically trying to study to learn. And if she doesn't get the concept in the amount of time that she thought she would, then she just takes a little bit more time over it. There's no big deal. That's the whole point of this, is learning. And so I was like, okay, I really need to adopt that because I cannot keep doing what I'm doing. So that is what I'm doing now, is I'm taking all the pressure off and I'm just being relaxed. My goal is like 2 hours a day. If that doesn't happen, not going to do, it's going to be fine, because if I tell myself I have to do 2 hours a day, it's not going to happen. So we're just taking the pressure off. And where I originally thought that I was going to be taking this exam in late June, it's definitely going to be early July. And today is about June 5th. So I just wanted to come in here and tell you guys that, but I'm just coming in here to say the opposite of the last clip, which is that I'm taking all the pressure off myself. We're chilling out. This will get done when it gets done, and I will learn this information when I learn it. Okay guys, it is literally like 3 weeks later. The last clip that I had y'all with was June 5th, I think, and it is now June 17th. And I did lay off the pressure, and it has paid off immensely. And I haven't even stuck to like any type of, I mean, in my head, I was like, okay, taking off the pressure, doing how many hours I want a day, hopefully 3 hours a day. And the way it's kind of worked out by, I mean, I think I just showed you, or I'm sure I will have showed y'all like my record keeping of what I've been doing every day. But it's like some days I do 1 hour, some days I feel ambitious and I do like 4 or 5 hours. And it just kind of is going how it's going. And my usual pages per hour is about 10 pages per hour. And some days I do a lot faster than that, which, so even if I'm not doing as many hours, I'm still getting in the amount of pages that it was like meant to be getting. And so by taking off the pressure, it's totally helped me so much, because I don't know, just having that certain amount of hours was just personally not helping me. So here's where we are on June 17th, okay? June 17th, we are down to the bottom of this book, you guys. This, literally, these 13 pages right here are what we have left. It's like the kidney, like renal section, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so all we have left is kidney function, electrolytes, and dehydration. That is literally the last section in the physical book. Now, I'm about to get this done today. I just watched the video on enteral and parenteral nutrition, so we did that part. And my goal is to do these 13 pages. Then, today, I want to start on the last part of the book. So like this is the last physical part of the book, but there's one more thing that Past Class has on their online class, and it is an MNT resource, a resource for medical nutritional therapy, and it's 100 pages long. So it is like a good bit more that I have to do, but realistically that should, like, I should be able to get that done over the next 2 to 3 days after I finish this section. And then once I finish those 100 pages of M&T and the 2 M&T videos that there are, I will be done with content. Period, end of story. Done with content. And I'm really excited about it. So I'm about to go and knock out these 13 pages. And yeah, let's freaking get this thing over with and shut this book forever.
How am I supposed to study in these conditions? Back to it.
Okay, guys, and that is it on the freaking textbook. We just read this entire freaking book. I literally cannot believe that I have finally finished this monstrosity. Like, I feel like I couldn't even talk about how big it was before because it was too daunting. But now that I've done it, now that I've literally done every page, every practice question, every self-assessment, all of it, I can really now acknowledge how freaking massive of a beast this is. It is, again, the end of June right now, okay? I started doing 1 hour a day of this book in January, and I then took a little break in the middle of spring, and then for the past 2 months I have been studying every single day, at least a couple hours a day, and I finally finished this whole massive thing. Very happy about it. And I'll tell you guys in the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to go much more in depth on whether I think that this was worth it and what I've heard of my friends who have either read this book or not read this book, all the things. But I'm doing boots on the ground journalism. I read the whole thing. We're going to see how that treated me. And also, I just want to do everything I can to pass this test. And so reading this book to me was one of the good things that I could do to keep myself interested, because the videos, I keep falling asleep. So at least having the book done, I feel like I've actually kind of at least gone over all the information at least once. So maybe the practice questions will feel a little bit familiar when I go over them. But we cannot super celebrate too early because we still have the medical nutrition therapy part of the online book. So that is what I'm about to tackle next. And then after that and those 2 videos, then we'll really be done. I don't know if I'm going to show myself studying that, but I'll sure as heck let you guys know when I finish it. And here I am. I've completely finished the entire medical nutrition therapy resource in the book, and I've also finished both videos, which means that I am officially done with my first pass of content. And oh my gosh, I am so relieved about it. This has taken what feels like so long, and legitimately, I feel like I'm a little worried because a lot of the information that I've taken in kind of feels like it might have gone in one ear, right out the other. But I'm just glad to have gone over it all once. And so now let me tell you what my plan is. I'm about to be going out of town for about 4 days. And so my plan is that for those 4 days, I'm not going to study at all, okay? But when I get back, that is when I'm going to start doing some mock exams and start doing the practice questions, both in past class and also in pocket prep now that I have that. I also think that over that time, I'm going to try to be reviewing the PowerPoints connected to the videos that are on past class to make sure that I'm really reviewing all the information as I'm going so that I can give it all a second look through before my exam. And this video is getting so long, but in the next one that I'm going to do, okay, hopefully, the next video y'all see from me is me having passed the exam. I dearly hope so. And if it's not, then it'll just be me learning from my mistakes. We will see. But I'm in the next video going to show y'all all of the entire details of the process. So we are going to go through what it looks like to sign up for the exam, how you sign up for a date, how you do your verification statement, all of those things. I'm also going to talk more about how I think the book actually helped me, or if it didn't help me, if there was any parts I feel like I didn't need. And I'm going to go into some of the experience of some of my friends who are all also studying and how they use the resources from past class or pocket prep and what they think helped them the best. And since Pocket Prep is the other resource that I have, I feel like I've barely just dipped my toe into it. I've been doing like some question a days, and then I've been doing some of their little 10 question quizzes. But by the next time I see you guys, I will be immersed in Pocket Prep and I will have a lot of experience with it. So I'm also going to talk to you guys about how I like that resource and how that was. I wish that I had all of this information for you guys already, but unfortunately, like I said, we're just done with the content right now, and the next few weeks are going to be spent going over, doing practice questions, going over the material, and hopefully taking and passing our exam. So I hope that this video was helpful, and legitimately, if you're studying for the test right now, or if you are about to be studying for it, or this is something that's going to be in your near future, don't get freaked out by this. I think it's really normal to have like highs and lows with studying, especially because in school, you maybe have a test where you study for a couple weeks for it, but this is like a lot of material and it takes a lot of time. And all of the friends that I have that are in dietetics right now who are studying have all had different ups and downs, different kinds of highs and lows, and have all experienced completely different experiences with this exam. And again, I will talk a little bit more into that and like how my friends have done on their exams, like how much they studied. But for right now, just know that whatever you're going through, you are not alone, and it is okay to be discouraged, but it's also okay to know that like you have plenty of time. And honestly, the exam is so expensive. It's like $260. If you're not feeling prepared for it, then it's okay to push your test back later, but it's also okay to say, okay, maybe I'll never be 100% ready for it. We'll see. But I might have some different advice once I actually get to the exam. I don't know. I'm going to stop rambling. I hope this video was helpful. And if y'all have any questions, please comment them below and I will answer them either in the comments or in my next video. I want to know any questions y'all have about the exam, how it's set up, what it's like to actually go through the exam, so I know what y'all want to see on my exam day. Anything like that, please let me know. I'm begging you, and I will see y'all in the next one.